Okay, so really quick, I want to show you something crazy. So I'm slicing some tomatoes for our freeze dryer, and I had some room on the tray, so I grabbed the rest of the tomatoes we had in our bin so they wouldn't go to waste. And I had a couple store-bought ones there. Now, when I buy store-bought tomatoes, I usually get the ones on the vine, right? Because they taste better. Or Romas if Romas are on sale. Check this out. I don't know if I would have noticed a difference except for I'm slicing a bunch of fresh garden ones at the same time. So look at this. Can you see that? Guess which one is from the store and which one's from the garden. Look at the color difference. And the seeds, I didn't slice far enough into this top one here to see the seeds. I just sliced the top. But the lighter colored one, the one right here, is store-bought. This one is a fresh garden tomato. Look at the color difference. And trust me, there's a smell difference. Like the fresh garden one smells amazing and the store one like has no smell. Isn't that crazy? The store one, it looks like it's starting to sprout. See, there's a little sprout there. That happens sometimes as they get older. That just, again, shows it's an older tomato, even though from the outside, it looks just fine. But this is the thing. Stores, the produce that you buy in the stores, that was picked a long time before you bought it. And that's why like Thrive Life, for example, the freeze-dried food has higher nutritional value than even fresh food in the grocery store, because this tomato right here, the fact that it's got that sprout growing, that means this tomato has been picked for quite a while. I don't know, maybe a few weeks at least, maybe a month. They pick it when they're green and then they artificially ripen them. And because you figure, produce in stores, they have a limited shelf life, right? And it's not like everybody cleans out all the produce every day. So they have to pick stuff before it's ripe, and they've got all the shipping time and all the storage time and all that. And so picking things before they're ripe gives them a longer shelf life of the produce. It's just smart business. However, not as nutritional. So when you have something like this in a homegrown garden tomato, look at the color difference. This tomato here that I got from the garden has been ripened on the vine. I don't want to drop those. This one, it's been ripened on the vine. So this is, we got weeks worth of difference of ripening on the vine, constantly getting more nutrients from the plant and the soil, everything like that, versus having to ripen by itself with just the nutrients that it already has, or artificially being ripened, which who knows what they do to it to ripen it. But such a difference. So like companies like Thrive Life, for example, that does the freeze-dried food. So that's why their freeze-dried food is such a higher nutritional value than the store, because they have contracts with farmers. They let things like this ripen on the vine, they flash freeze it, and then they freeze dry it. So it has all that extra nutrients and all that extra time on the vine to ripen and absorb more nutrients. There's some little pictures and stuff if you look at like my Facebook page, and I think I've shared a few on my Instagram that actually says percentages. And it's crazy. It's like, I can't even remember off the top of my head, but it would be like broccoli has 58% more whatever, blah, 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 than you would find in a store. And that's because ripening on the vine. So anyhow, I just thought that was crazy amazing, and I wanted to share that with you, because sometimes, it's object lesson. You need a visual aid. But I can tell you, just slicing all these tomatoes for this tray to go in the freeze dryer, I'm slicing these garden ones, and the smell, they just smell so amazing. The color is amazing, this deep red. And then I just wanted to fill the tray, and I'm like, I'll just grab some of these other tomatoes I bought from the store. Yeah, big difference. And the tomatoes are harder. The garden ones are like nice and soft and easy to cut into and stuff. The store ones are like crisp and hard. Anyhow, just thought I would share that little tidbit. So FYI, there you go. Okay, exhibit B. This is another tomato. I just sliced this one. Look at that. Look at all those sprouts. This is I've probably had this tomato for a week, maybe 2, probably just a week. But this is another store-bought one. Look at all those sprouts. Now this is still good. I'll show you. I mean, that's all it is they're sprouts. They look creepy when you first cut a tomato that has sprouts. The first time I did one, I was like, oh, there's worms in my tomato, but they're not. They're sprouts. These are coming from the seeds. Let me see if I can, well, let's see, there's the top that I cut off. I know they look like worms, but they're not. They're sprouts. They're coming from the seeds inside the tomato. And that, okay, look at this. It looks hideous. But what that is see how it's all around the seeds? This is nature. Like this is how things happen. This is how things grow, right? But they grow when they're old. And so look at all those sprouts. This tomato is pretty old for it to have these good sized sprouts. Now I could literally go plant the slice or the whole tomato and grow a tomato plant. That's the cycle, like that, right? That's nature's cycle. That's how things grow. But unfortunately, it's the wrong time of year. Here, if this was springtime, it'd be perfect, and I would totally go plant it. But again, this shows you how old stuff is at the stores. So